So, welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. And this is intended as especially for solopreneurs. And this morning we're going to be looking at Rodney's communications, being able to communicate yourself better. So let's get started, and I shall introduce everybody who is here. And I usually go alphabetically. Maybe I'll start at the other end of the list this morning instead of at the top. So that means I introduce myself first for a change. I'm Loweland Fuglsang. I'm in British Columbia, Victoria. And I love coaching retirees who want to create an online business. And next we have Vivek Rayo, who is in the UK, and he simplifies, I can't read this morning, I guess. He simplifies life and business by unifying different technologies and developing software. And we have Rodney Brace, who is with us for the first time. He is from Newfoundland, and he develops communication solutions that help entrepreneurs communicate them to their audiences and customers. Let's see who else just came in. Oh, let's see, Paul, you came in just in time. Paul is also in BC, just in my neighborhood actually, and he helps startups turn ideas into profitable action. And then we have Nathan Siegel. He's in Mexico, and he guides writers through the creation of a book. And let's see who else is here.
David.
Pardon?
David.
Yep, I'm getting there.
Yeah. Hello.
David Flannery is in Illinois, and he creates affordable websites for small business.
We got a small little problem. What's broadcasting, we're getting audio, but we see Vivek instead of you on the
Yes, I know. I'm noticing that as well. I don't know why. This is quite likely due to some of the little wonderful issues I have with Zoom lately. So somebody else just came. Oh, you're just in time, Fred. Fred Jones is with us, and he's sometimes from British Columbia. He's our resident nomad. And Fred Jones facilitates leadership and community building for youth. So glad you.
I'm sorry. We also have Javita in chat.
Oh, good morning, Javita. I hope you can come inside and join us. Javita is in Mumbai. So this morning, we were going to talk about communication systems, and I had Rodney to join us. Rodney, I guess you and I maybe have known each other for what, 8 or 9 years?
Oh, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah, I think it was probably. And as I was thinking about that this morning, I do believe it might have been Paul Murray who introduced us.
I was just going to say, Paul, hi, Paul. I haven't seen Paul in a long time. Paul and you, we seem to go back a few years, and all because of these tools. Actually, Paul introduced me. I got introduced to Paul through Sharon, and then I think through Paul it was you, Loweland.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's how we grow our community, right?
So I it's kind of it's neat. It's this is the thing about working online that I thoroughly enjoy, as I'm sure you probably do too. So
I do, and the day I die, I wonder how many people are going to be at my funeral, because I've made that many friends around the world. But I don't expect you guys.
Well, Hey, I wonder if down the road there will be such a thing as an online celebration of life.
There is funny you said that, because there is a local funeral director here who will actually stream it.
Really?
They have streamed funerals, so you're not far from the reality
Wow.
of it, and we'll see that. When I first got into this communication business, people were pushing me to push my technology for churches, to allow them to stream. And back then, and that was years ago, Lolan, I mean, you know that yourself. So the internet wasn't ready, the speed wasn't ready, the bandwidth wasn't ready. But yet all these venues like churches wanted to do this, and they're all doing it now, or a good many of them are doing it now. So, it's come a long way. And back then, I felt like we were on the cutting edge of so many things. And I'll tell you one of those that happened that was really phenomenal. So what the internet has done for all of us is, it's pushed us years ahead. I mean, think about this 20 years ago when I got exposed to the internet, I didn't have a clue. What is this thing?
Yeah.
And now I make my living on it, and I help other people do the same. It's just incredible.
Yeah. No,
So,
it's
Lolan, I'm waiting for Rodney's app to come to us from the thereafter.
the thereafter.
That would be a good one. Wow. That's good, Paul.
So, I mean, it just goes to show the way that communities can be built. I don't know, Rodney, if you know this, but this Success Circle has been running for roughly 5 years,
Okay.
4.5 to 5 years. Yeah. So, and people have come and gone, depending on what's going on in their lives and what's of interest to them, etc. But, I mean, it's just a joy to realize that, we can connect with people from anywhere in the world. I guess the one common thing that we all have to watch for is language.
Yes.
So, well, time zone is a bit of a bummer too. Like the people in Australia, as Fred will attest to, when he was visiting his daughter in Australia, he kind of didn't want to get up in the middle of the night to join the Success Circle. So
that's understandable. I have a lot of clients in Australia, and actually I was on a call last night with one of my colleagues. So 8 o'clock at night was something like 11 in the morning for him.
Yeah.
Maybe noon, because there's 17 hours at least where I am, Central Time. You're 17 hours ahead of us.
Yeah. So it's just.
And so it's tomorrow.
Yes.
Sometime tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. It's bizarre. Makes my head hurt.
Yes. You're not the only one, Nathan.
I'm sure.
So by way of that was by way of an introduction that Rodney and I have known each other for a long time, and there was a period there. I remember we were working on a couple of the products that he had developed, and I remember we were talking about this yesterday and saying that when we first started using that product, some colleagues and I were trying to run group employment counseling sessions, and we tried it for a long time. We had quite a few people who came and wanted to do it, but we came to realize that we spent more time helping people with the technology than we did with the course content. So I mean, it is fun to be on the leading edge, but sometimes if you're too far forward, you pay the price. So
you do, but you can never let that stop you.
No.
If you have a vision for something, go after it. People will catch up, and I've learned that people will catch up, because my first product that I ever created, Lolan, you used it, Paul had it. It was Website Communicator.
Yeah.
And that was actually born out of a need of my own, because I'm a people person. I love connecting with people.
Yeah.
And when I started to work online, I started in 1999. That's when I started working online.
Wow.
And I had a couple of years, that I really went through a period of almost depression. I didn't know why. And I realized after it was because I was in my little office with nothing but a monitor in front of me. I wasn't meeting people. And so, although I was doing business through email, because that's all you had then. I mean, instant messenger wasn't even a thing. Cell phones never had the technology that we have today. So it was a period that I went through that out of that was my first product was born. And I created that basically for myself, but I knew I could make money with it because I said, if I'm feeling this, how many other people are feeling withdrawn, disassociated, and need that connection? And so that's what Website Communicator did. It brought people together. And I made a lot of sales just because the product allowed me to stream on my website. So I had this code. It was on my website. People could go there. They could see me. And a lot of people got confused and thought this is a video, not realizing if they, and what I would do, was interesting because I could see through my software when a visitor was on my site and what page they were on. And so I could speak to them. Hey, hi, Lowell Ann. I see you're on Website Communicator on the products page. If you got any questions, click the button and let me talk to you. People would leave.
It would freak
because
them
I could
out.
see it would freak them out. And I had their IP address, so I would watch and they would come back. Curiosity brought them back. It was new, but it worked. It worked. It made. There was one guy out of South Africa. He used to sell $800 security software for websites, and he had a difficult time selling it. But when he bought my product and put it on his website, his sales grew fast. And the reason why is people said, look, I know where to find you. I can come and I can see you. I can talk to you, get my questions answered. And people felt more comfortable doing business with him. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing ever since then, is connecting people and bringing people together. And through that one product, we had a teaching hospital in Dubai who saw me streaming live and connected and asked me if I was willing to work with them to make a couple of changes. We were the very first company streaming live surgeries on the internet. We added the ability for 2 cameras, and they had one camera up high in the operating room and the other camera down on the patient being operated on. And I get chills today thinking about that. And I had the very first recording of that. We recorded that, and they were streaming that around the world, and other doctors logging in. They were doing unconventional things. And this is what we were doing. And it all started from there. We were bringing people together. And that's what I do. My company, we connect people, and we've advanced from there. We've modified programs, created new ones, and it took on just a life of its own.
Well, tell us more about your recent programs, because I've connected with a couple of them, and especially one that I really like. So I felt as though everybody else would appreciate knowing about all of that, all of those things that you've developed as well. So
I appreciate that very much, and I won't take too much time, I promise, because if I talk about all the tools, it will take too long and I'll bore you. But if I can, Lowell Ann, I'm going to use the screen sharing just for a moment. And introduce myself, folks. For you who don't know me, Paul knows me, Lowell Ann has known me for a number of years. My name is Rodney Brace. I'm from Newfoundland, Canada. I'm right on the East Coast, and I'm going to show you that, just in case you're wondering, Newfoundland. Where's Newfoundland? And it's spelled Newfoundland, and some people say Newfoundland and things like that. It's just plain Newfoundland. So there I am on the East Coast. That's the country where I live. I'm sorry, the province where I live here in Canada. You just heard a little bit of my story. Back in 1999 is when I first got online. Out of my own need, I developed a product. I actually sat on this idea for a couple of years. And I talked it over with another company in Toronto, Ottawa, actually. And I said, look, I've got an idea for a product. This guy had the programmers. He said, this sounds like a good tool, but I've got things going on. Let's wait a year. So I sat on it for a year. I did a year of research, and I sat on it for a year. He still wasn't ready. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I got a couple of investors. We put this together. and it just grew from there. And so I had that experience of creating my very first product that there seemed to be a huge demand for. When people figured out what it was, what it could do, how it connected people. And it was called Website Communicator. And you could put the code on your website and just stream live on your website, and visitors would come there, they would see you, they could click the button, have a private chat with you face to face. You could transfer them to different operators around the world. This is what we were doing. And we had some great success with that product. It was built in Flash, for those of you who understand what coding is. And Flash, nobody builds their products in Flash anymore. So we spent, tens of thousands of dollars developing that product, and then we had to retire it. But out of that product was born another product, and it became a conference system. We're all experiencing conference room now by being here inside of Zoom. Well, we created one back in, I think it was about 2007, 2008, around there. And we're very excited about that. And here's the thing, what we did with that product. At that time, Paul, I think, did you ever attend those fly-on-the-wall sessions that I used to have? I'm not sure. I had a coach. His name was Bob Dignart, and he was coaching me in business. And we used to do this inside of Website Communicator. We said, you know what? Let's take this a step further, and let's actually allow people in to listen to what we're doing here. And so we allowed people to log in, listen to our story as Bob was coaching me. And we actually raised, through that, $80,000 to build the brand new conference system.
Oh.
It was amazing, Lola, and all I had was an idea. And cool. I drafted it. I'm a bit of a graphic designer, so I drafted the design, showed it to people. People were throwing money at it. Let me invest in this. Let's build this. And so we did that. And so it grew from there. That product, again, was developed in Flash. That has since retired. We've replaced it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a couple of things that we're into now and give you just a little bit of a story of what these products are. One of the products that's getting a lot of buzz for us right now is the Talking Business Card. And it's for people who really are out there on the go. If you've got a business card, it stands the chance of getting tossed and getting lost. They don't always stay with people. What's beautiful about the digital virtual business card is that it comes with a QR code. People can scan that, and then all that good information that you want someone to have about you that you cannot put in a business card or on a business card goes into the virtual business card. You can put a video talking about yourself. In fact, we encourage people to do that. We also have the software so they can record their video. So they don't need anything but a webcam and a picture of themselves, a banner, write up content about yourself, and that becomes their digital business card. And we're not the only company doing this. There are other companies doing it and charging a lot more than what we are. And so we're actually selling this for $97. I gave it to some people for a really good deal. Lolan knows that.
Yeah.
And so now we're at $97, and we're still having people throw money at this at $97. And I know if we charge more, we could. One of our biggest clients, to be honest with you, are realtors. They're very big on this. But this is just another way of connecting with people and making that connection last. Because if you can get your contact information into the cell phone of your potential clients, they've got the information where they need it when they want it. And so how many times have someone looked for I know this person, I got a business card somewhere, but where is it?
Yeah.
And so this way you put that information in there. And so we've only launched this one back, I think, in September, Lolan. And we've been doing quite well. We're very busy with this. But
what I wanted to say about what I like about it is when somebody else focuses on the QR code, and they get to see the example such as what's flying by there. But if you notice down at the bottom, there's a link that will take that person right to your website.
Yeah, there's several links there.
Yeah, which is really kind of neat.
Well, yeah, like I said, it puts all that good information that you want them to have about you, so they can actually call you right from the business card. There's a call button. So you add your phone number, they can call you. There's what's called a more button, and that's for your website. So they can click that and go right to your website. The big green button, download the vCard. They click that, and that adds your phone number, your email, whatever you want them to have inside of their contact list. That's what that's for. And we're into a new design of this. We're going to be releasing a new design very soon. And it's going to integrate with other social media platforms. So, when we develop something, we don't just sit on it. We actually, keep building on that. And you'll find that in just a moment when I talk about another product. But this one is very good. If I can move on to another one, I want to touch on this one here.
This is the one I love.
I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy this product.
Yeah.
And but people are using it. Vmail Blaze is, you put a bit of code on your website, and I'll show you in a moment. And what it does, it lets visitors on your website send you audio or video email. And you might say, okay, what's the value in that? The value in that is the people on your website can see that you're staying up with technology. You're giving them ways of communicating with you, and that's very important. People want to make that connection. I've learned that over the years because that's exactly what we do. My company, by the way, is called Tech Inc. And the reason why we called it Tech is because of the hyphen that connects people. We connect people through technology, and that's what we've been doing for years. And this is just another product that does that. So someone comes to the website, they look at your product, they look it over, they like what they see. Maybe they say, okay, I want to connect with this person. Maybe they don't want to phone you. Not everybody wants to pick up the phone and call, and the reason why is because not everybody wants to be sold to.
Right.
People want to buy. Everybody wants to spend money, but when someone is trying to sell you something, that's a little different. And I've been through that, where you pick up the phone, you call a company, and they got you on that phone, and they want to sell. And so this takes that pressure away and allows people to send you audio or video email. And I get almost every day, I will get a message from people, and they turn into customers. And that's what this is about, building those relationships that last. We ready to move on?
Yeah.
I've got a question, please.
Go ahead.
Jay Neal asked, do you offer an affiliate program?
We do indeed. Everything that we've ever done, we offer an affiliate program, and we offer one with this. Not the Vmail Blaze separately, although we can, but we've got a package that I'm going to show you in a moment that we're doing something we've never done before. We launched this just a little while ago, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? Because I not only do I sell products, I believe in giving people value, and sometimes in giving them the value, people don't take our product serious enough because of price, and I'll show you that in a moment. But I just want to move on from something here. Let me see, did I cover everything I wanted to talk to in this one? Oh, by the way, with this product here, when someone sends you a video email or an audio email, you can also reply to them using audio or video.
Yeah.
So it's really good. But that's the extent of the interaction between that one. Here's another product.
Hang on. What I like about it is that it just shows a little tab on the side of your website on every page in your website. And so it doesn't matter where on your website the person wants to connect with you, they can do it.
Well, if you look on this page that I just brought up here now, if you look to the side, you can see there's a button there, a blue button. It says send me a message. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I just moused over it. It's green.
Yeah.
So that's the actual program on this site. So if I click that button right here, right now, it brings up this tab.
Yeah.
So you can send me an audio message, or you can send me a video message, and then you choose the video, you hit the start recording, and choose video recording. That's going to start. My microphone and camera is in use, so it won't access it, unfortunately.
No.
I'm using it here with Zoom. So that's why it won't access it there. But it's very simple to use. People don't have to download or install anything. It's very, very simple. And as Lolan was saying, I'm going to scroll this page, and you can see that the button is still there.
Yeah.
And it's very simple. Go ahead, Paul.
So, Rodney, if I was on a website and I had a question about it, can I do a screen capture and send it to you and say, hey, look, I need to know more about this? Or
Yes, you can. That's the other thing about it. If you click on that button again, I gotta reload that page because I'll just show you. If I reload the page, if I click the button, you have an option. Once you choose video, let me see if you start recording. Then you have an option here to do a video or a screen recording.
Got it.
So if there's something on the website that you're having an issue with, you can actually copy that and send it to me, and then I can see where your issue is. So yeah, it's a good question, Paul.
That to me, that's the value of video emails is the ability to look at something and communicate at exactly what you're looking at and what I think about it, and have you tell me how to use it better.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that brings real value to your business, obviously, to be able to do that. This other product here is called audio video email. And this one is a little different than the Vmail Blaze. The one I just showed you, the onus is on the website visitor to connect. So it's up to them to initiate that contact.
Mhm.
This product here, the audio video email, is more or less for people who already have a clientele, already have a customer base, or you've got an affiliate list that you market to. So it's for people that you already know.
Mhm.
And so what you can do, you can see I've got a video here of me.
Yeah.
I actually recorded that video using the Vmail Blaze program.
Mm.
So Vmail Blaze allows you to record video and upload them to YouTube or whatever you want to do. So I recorded one this morning with Vmail Blaze, and then I created this message. And so with the audio video email, you can add banners. As you can see, I've got a banner there to the side of my video. It's a full HTML editor. You can write your content. You can actually put in banners and things like that. So video is hot. We all know that. We're all here now, and people are using their videos to stream together, to connect together, even though it's live video. But people will watch video more than they will read your email. And so this is actually, I can create a video message. I can send it to Laurel Ann, anyone in the room. You'll get the same format. We allow you to dress it up, pictures in the background. Again, it's all about connecting. It's about building that relationship. And I use it with my list. If I've got a promotion, for example, you'll see I've got a banner here. It says, 6 tools giving you the app Vantage. It's just applications. So we bundled all our 6 tools into a special promotion. And so I took this message that you're looking at here. I sent this out to a warm market list of mine, and I made sales for this package. And that's what audio video email allows you to do. So again, it's used for, basically your warm market people, your list. What we don't have that we're going to be adding over the next couple of weeks is the ability for you to merge, say, a spreadsheet with. People have been pushing me to include the ability for them to add, say, a list of names and email addresses. So it would have to be it's a warm market list that you could merge. Say like I've got an affiliate list, so I create messages and I merge this message with that list. But I do it outside of this program. But we're now going to incorporate that so people can do that inside of this program. So that's just one of the other features that we do. One of the features that anybody got a question on this before I move on? I don't want to take up too much time. We good? Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you have a question. Laurel Ann, stop me if someone does.
Yeah.
I'm going to, let me go into this one first. I'm going to get to that one. I can't get to it. There we go. What you're looking at here now is Webinar Blaze. Let me get that flame out of the way here. Let me just scroll down. Now, Webinar Blaze is a competitor to Zoom, okay,
Yes.
basically. And I mentioned to you a moment ago that we developed a conference system called Audio Video Conference. We raised $80,000. It was very expensive to build. We did that like 3 times because we didn't like the first version. We scrapped it. We built it again. Then we scrapped it, and we built this. This is Webinar Blaze. This one is built on the new HTML, I say new, it's still fairly new, HTML5 platform. So it's not Flash. Same things, no, Zoom is not. They do have some components of HTML5, but they're not all HTML5. Because Zoom has an EXE, an executable file that you have to download.
Yes.
And I was very surprised to learn that, by the way. I don't know everything about Zoom. There's a lot of people who just don't want to download that EXE.
Yeah.
It's they don't want that on their computer,
Yeah.
and so we steered away from the EXE. Our service is totally web-based, 100% web-based, and we're doing well. We're still adding new features to it. There's a couple of features we don't have, which is people want the ability to record. We've spent months building it. We're going to introduce it in the next few weeks or so. But it's just another program. And actually, the very first program for the conference system, as I said before, my customers actually pushed me for this. They said, look, let's just go with this. Let's build a conference platform. And I never wanted to build anything that was already out there. I thought, why do you want to reinvent the wheel? But when you have a customer base and they're asking you for something, you give it to them.
Of course.
You want to keep your customers.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have the means and the ability to do it, you want to keep your customers. And so that's what we did. And so, this one here, Webinar Blaze, we're quite happy. We're excited about this one. I use this one every day, always holding webinars and presentations. And we're excited about that. The last two I want to show you, we launched these a while ago. I'm going to show you this one. It's called Quickie Chat. And we took this offline. This one and the next one I'm going to show you, we've taken offline. And I'll tell you why. But Quickie Chat, again, is a tool for your website. And it's a live chat. It's text chat, it's audio chat, and it's video chat.
Wow.
So everyone is familiar with that. It has the ability for operators. So if you've got a team, you can include operators and you can transfer calls between each other.
Wow.
This one here was built to replace the website communicator. So website communicator had these features. We needed to replace it because website communicator was flash based.
Right.
So we replaced it with this one. What we left out of this one was the ability for people to stream live on their website. We left that out. And I've been kicked all over planet Earth because of it, because my customers want that feature brought back. I said, okay, we'll have to bring it back. So we are going to bring that back. We've taken it offline because we're updating the iOS security and Android security codes in here. And let me just give you a quick example of how powerful this is. In the first week that we had this out in beta, it was in the summer. I was at my cabin on the lake, and I had an assistant from the UK monitoring the traffic on my website. And she had a visitor from California, a realtor. So again, I want to show you here how our products really bring people together. And so this guy, realtor, was in California. He used Quickie Chat on the website. He connected with my assistant in the UK. He had questions that she thought he should talk to me. She said, would you rather talk to the developer about this? And he said, yes. She put him on hold. She texted me and said, hey, I've got a client here you really need to talk to. Can you take the call? I said, yes. She transferred that call to me. We had a conversation. Then we switched over to live video. He was happy as a lark. That's what we do. And that's what excites me about this type of technology, is that we really connect people. He was sold on this. He bought this, had this put into his office. He's waiting for me to bring it back.
Right.
So that's just one story of how we're affecting and changing people's lives. And I really mean that. You do that. Once someone buys something from you and they become your client, they're using your technology, you're changing their lives in one way or another, hopefully for the better, because they're able to work more efficiently, more effectively, and much smarter. There's an office a real estate office in Illinois, actually, who they're using this, and they're actually using it for showcasing their homes. They have clients, and they're into their homes, and they're showing the homes on their phones through this technology. So there's different ways of using this. Finally, what I'm going to show you is a product that's called Vapsi. Now, you're familiar with this, Lolan. Paul, you're familiar with Vapsi. We launched this one a while ago, and this one is offline for the same reason, for updates. Let me just tell you quickly about this one, and I would say that the story I'm going to tell is very quickly, but it goes to the testimony of the people like Paul, who was there, I think, from the day when I launched this product. I announced to my contacts, I had a warm list. I said, listen, I've got an idea for a product. It's not even built. I haven't even hired a programming team, but I'm going to sell lifetime licenses for $137. I had people calling me up, throwing money at me. I raised $37,000 in the first night. The first night, never had a programming team, didn't know how much the program was going to cost me. I raised $37,000. It cost me over $50 to build it, but we pre-sold it and we built it. And this is a product that it captures. It's on your phone. It's a mobile app, and it allows you to capture video testimonials and recommendations from your customers, and then to post them instantly to your website. That's it in a nutshell. There's a few more things in there.
Yeah.
There are places, obviously, you've gone to websites, you've read written testimonials. They're so easy to fabricate, nobody wants to read them anymore. The written testimonial doesn't have the same weight anymore because they're easy to fabricate. Video, you can fabricate them as well, a little bit more difficult. You can do that, but people will watch the video. And so what we've given them is the ability to record videos through a mobile app. And then what happens is you give that customer a code. So when they're uploading the video, without the code, it goes nowhere. So people can't just post to your website. You have full control. And even when they post, you get notified there's a video. And so you log in, you review that video. If you like it, you click a button, it goes live on your website instantly.
You approve
And
it. Yeah.
and here is a player here. This is an actual player, video player, Vapsi's video player. The color can be changed. You can create a welcome message. You see me here. I've got a welcome message first thing as soon as they come here to see me. Down the side here, I've got a couple of video testimonials. These are people who actually tested Vapsi for me and were happy with it and gave me a testimonial. And so you can, control the order of these testimonials so that if someone gives you a really good glowing recommendation, then you can put that one first. We built in another feature inside of Vapsi that, again, if you know anything about me and my company by now, we connect people. We do everything we can to bring people together. And so we built a feature inside of here called Vap Chat. I don't know if you can see it right here at the top. And if people click on that, what it does, it brings up a chat box. So they can put in their name and their email and their phone if they want. And then they can actually have a text chat conversation right to your smartphone. So you would have Vapsi on your website. Again, what we do here, folks, is we bring people together.
Wow.
That's what we do. And we've come up with ways to do that. And there's all kinds of ways that people connect today. But what we've done here, and I'll finish off with this, Lowell, and I thank you for your time. If you look on this screenshot here, you can, and you look at the 6 products are listed there, and you can see what their annual prices are. Talking Vcard is $97 a year. Webinar Blaze is $497 a year. Vmail Blaze is $444 a year. You can see that. It's over $2,000 if people were buying these, paying the yearly license. Over $2,000. Right now we have a promotion for $137. And I actually had a guy call me up, actually 2 guys out of Arizona, and they're big time marketers. And they said, we can't sell this for that. People won't take you serious. And I said, well, we are going to $997. And the reason why they're $137 now is because the last 2 are offline being updated. So I said, I'm going to gamble on the fact that people will see the package, like these products, take the ones that are usable right now, and just wait a few weeks for us to release the other 2. So what they said was, when you go to $997, come back. We can move these. So, but Laura, and even here, if you look at this, and we are getting these prices, by the way. People have paid me in advance $497 for the Webinar Blaze. I have people who bought the Vcard at $97. Vmail Blaze as well paid me for the year at $447. These prices are out there. When we had Vapsi and Quickie Chat online, people paid me for the year. So I'm not making these numbers up. These are real numbers. And so for a deal at $137, it's a deal. And we are selling this. So for me, it's about giving people value. I believe in giving people more value than what they're paying for. And so this is what we're doing today. Once we do release those 2 products, by the way, that you're there, I'm pointing to them, even though you can't see my fingers. We will go to $997 on that package, and I know that we will get it. So again, I thank Lowell Ann. I appreciate seeing Paul again. I haven't seen you in a long time. They know me. They know I've been doing this for a number of years. I'm going to continue doing this for a number of years until I either win the lottery or someone buys me out.
Or you move to BC.
Isn't that what the psychic said? I need to go
Yeah.
to BC. That's another story. But if I can just say one other thing, I've always said this from the beginning. Paul, I'm going to tell you, Paul told me something once. I don't know if Paul will remember this. And I think it was Website Communicator, Paul. We were working, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I don't believe in launching anything until it's worth it, until it's ready. And Paul, I don't know if you remember what you said to me one day on the phone. Just release it. It wasn't quite ready. And Paul said, just release it. He said, fix it on the move while it's out there. He said, just get it out there. And I'll never forget that. And that wasn't yesterday, Paul, but that's what you told me. And we did that. And we perfected it along the way.
Yeah.
And the same thing we're doing with all our products. If there's something that isn't right, we will fix it. But I was telling Lowell Ann yesterday that we were actually streaming live on Facebook before Facebook was doing it. And it was through our first product. And Paul, I don't know if you remember that. Website Communicator, we developed the app for the side of the page. We were streaming live on Facebook before Facebook was doing it. So I like to think of myself as a bit of a visionary, and I like to look, what does people need? What's going to help Lowell Ann in her business today? What's going to help Paul to connect with that new client? That's what I'm always thinking about, and how can we improve that and become part of their business? And so that's what we do. So again, thank you, Lowell Ann, for your time. I give this back to you.
Wow. Rodney, I have a question. Following on Jay's question, he asked if you had an affiliate program. So I'm guessing that what you're planning on is having an affiliate program for that 6-tool product. Have you got a name for that yet?
Yeah, well, we run our affiliate program from a different website because we have so many products that we've just bundled them. And so we do run them from Premier Software Solutions is our website, premiersoftware.solutions. And so we do have an affiliate program, Lowell, and so maybe I can share that link with you, and if you want to share it with us later, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So-
Rodney calls it the Getting Fit 6-pack.
Yeah.
You know what? That's interesting because we're actually into a bit of a dilemma right now with coming up with a name for that because I haven't been able to come up with one. And I've got a good friend of mine, Daniel, who is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he's my right hand, and he's been throwing all kinds of names at me, and I don't like the names. And the name says a lot. And Paul, I think you were there when we were releasing Vapsi, and I never told anyone about this product, and I was building it in my mind. And I believe in God. I pray. I talk to God, and I want to tell you this for a reason, because I says, God, talk to me. And I'm so busy during the day that I do more talking than listening. So I says, okay, God, talk to me when I'm sleeping. Come to me in my dream. And I sat up in the middle of the night one night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the name hit me like a ton of bricks for that. I didn't know what to call it, and it's Vapsi. I said, Vapsi, video app system. Vapsi. I got out of bed. I ran to my computer. I went to Google. I typed in Vapsi. There was no website called Vapsi. I registered it right there, so that's how it is. So if you could be my inspiration and come up with a title for these 6 products, that'd be perfect. There you go.
Oh, well, maybe I'll ask my subconscious to create one too.
There you go.
Well, so I see we have a few more. Oh, there's Alana, who joined us from Ireland, and Javita has joined us from Mumbai. She was outside watching, so welcome to both of you. So I'm wondering, before we go, because we have gone over, which we usually do, so I wondered if anybody had any further questions or comments. Who was that?
Dave.
Oh, David.
Does your bundle go for unlimited websites?
Yes, it does. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Uh-huh. Right on.
If you control the websites, if you own the websites, yeah, because most of our products, you take Vmail Blaze, all correspondence will come to you. So if you've got clients, which I know you do, Dave. So they would have to have their own individual account. So just keep that in mind. Yeah.
Right on.
May I have the conch?
Yes, you may have the
ask a
conch.
question?
And Rodney, you haven't met Jay. He's our WA guy.
Okay. Hi, Jay.
Hi, nice to meet you. I heard you say something about Flash. Now, are you talking about way back in the days when it was Macromedia Flash or Adobe Flash?
Adobe
Okay.
Flash. Adobe
The
Flash.
birth of SVGs actually is where SVGs came from. So yeah, I used to design entire websites in Flash. I loved it. I was really sad when it went. Well, I was really sad when it went to Adobe, and then when Macromedia got absorbed by Adobe. But yeah, I loved making Flash websites and stuff like that. It was fantastic. I miss it. I really do miss it.
I do too, Jay.
Yeah.
But Jay, if I could just say, Jay, do you know this then, that Steve Jobs was actually in competition with Adobe to acquire Flash from this is why Steve Jobs lost that deal and said Flash will never run on his platform. You knew that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. My question to you is in regards to Flash. When your apps are requesting for access to the computer's microphone and video, are you still using the Flash coding to access that? Through, because you said some of your stuff is through a browser. So are you requesting, because oftentimes apps need to have permission to access video, like webcam and the microphone. So
yes, no, we're doing everything through HTML5. We're not using, to my knowledge, I've told my programmers I don't want Flash inside of my systems anymore. There is a Flash component within our audio video email because that was developed at that time. And how that works, if somebody cannot see the video through HTML5, it results back to Flash. So that's the only component of Flash that we're continuing to use right now, and that will phase out as well.
Right on. So,
Fred has a comment.
Is that, I'm not seeing everybody at the same time. So Fred.
I have a couple of questions, if I may ask.
Oh, sure. Please, go ahead.
Rodney, I'm coming from a time when I sold software for 10 years online. It was a project management, and there was a lot of challenges, which I understand you probably have. First of all, who does your programming? Like the company I worked for, it was all done in Belarus because the man was from Belarus, but we were a Canadian company. So it sounds like you're a one-man operation, but do you have a contract out, or do you have employees, or who does all the programming?
I'm not a one-man operation, even though that's a good, fair question and comment. I don't have employees, but I have a team. And, there are two people that work very closely with me. One is out of Minneapolis, and the other one is out of the UK. I have two programming teams, and I've gone through several situations with programmers that have failed, that have taught me what not to do and what to do. I have two teams. One team is out of India, a very good company. They've got probably about 150 qualified programmers on their team. They have built a lot of my systems, especially back-end systems, affiliate systems, and things like that. And then I've got another team out of Kyrgyzstan. And my very first product was Website Communicator, and it was built by a team out of Kyrgyzstan. Just as they finished the program, in fact, they weren't quite finished, and they dissolved. The owner ran off with the money. But one of the, it happens, it's unfortunate, but one of the programmers who worked on that, he said, look, Rodney, I'm going to stay with you and finish this for you. He did such a good job, I ended up hiring him. He built my next system, the conference system, and then he built his own company. So now he has a company of 60, 65 programmers. So when it comes to the development and the deployment, I have some good, strong teams in place. I'm here in Canada, and I believe in supporting our own. But, for a small business, when you've got to pay $65 and $85 an hour for a programmer here, and you can outsource that overseas and pick up 4 for that price, man, I look at that dollar as well. And so some people say, you know, yeah, well, these programmers overseas, they're wasting their time. They're doing 2 hours and billing you for 6. Maybe that's the case, and maybe it isn't, because once you build up that relationship with those people, you hang on to them. And I like to think that I'm getting, you know, fair work for the dollar that I'm paying. So, you know, that's where I come from. I had one guy who said to me, look, I can build your website communicator. You know what he quoted me? $1,700. $1,700. I knew it couldn't be done. I spent over $65,000 to build that. So, you know, you have to be careful. You have to be careful. But I've got 2 strong teams. I'm in communication with them constantly, and I paid it a lot of money in programming. Like, if I was to put a dollar figure on everything, I bet you, and I'm not kidding, not a word of a lie, I bet you I'm after spending about $800,000. That's U.S. because everything is U.S. The overseas programmers quote you, you know, and I had a team just 1 year. I paid them $150,000 just to manage my back end, just to manage the back end. It cost me $150,000. Now I did $650,000 that year, but it cost me $150,000 just for them to manage that back end.
Right.
So you know, I believe in hiring the right team, and it took me a while to find that. And there's lots of good programmers out there. I dabble in it myself. I'm not a programmer, but I get inside enough to break it, and my programmers get mad. They really do. In fact, they set me up with a testing server. Everything is on that. If you want to break it there. So that's what we do. Did I miss anything, Fred?
No, that was the first question, because we did it. Well, the company I worked for did it in Belarus for the same reason. Yeah. You know, but they were their own employees. The fellow who I worked for in Toronto, his father lived in Belarus. He had gone to university in Belarus, so he knew. But it was so much less expensive for those programmers.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the second question I have, which concerns me, is marketing. You have products, but you have to take them offline. That must be a challenge marketing wise.
It's fair. It was a big challenge. Yeah, no, it was a big challenge for us to decide to do that.
You know, when you say, "Oh, I deal with this fellow now; it's not online anymore." So that's you know, and you're dealing with technology that's changing. I assume that's the problem.
And that's the reason within VAPSI was built using Flash, and that's why that one was taken offline. That one was taken offline because it was built in Flash, and now it's totally done in HTML5. And now we're just updating the security certificates inside for iOS and Android. So that's why that was taken offline. Quickie Chat, there was a bit of a complication with 2 components that were in there. And I said, okay, let's just take this off and let's just get this right. Rather than have something out there crippling along on 3 wheels when it should have 4, that's why we did that. Let's get that out. So that's why we did that with those 2 products. And now we're getting ready to release those very soon.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of marketing, Fred, I've noticed that Rodney goes on Facebook and LinkedIn both, and promotes and invites people to come on and do various things. I mean, that's how he and I reconnected after a long time not connecting.
That's right.
So yeah.
Well, in the 10 years that I was working for the company, we had those challenges as well. But we'd never take it offline. We'd run on 3 wheels until we brought up the news.
I guess it comes back to what I said earlier when Paul was part of my game here. If it doesn't work, I don't want it out there. And
I agree with Paul. You know, I tend to say, hey, get it out there, and you know, you cope with those situations with the customer, but don't just sort of drop them and say, okay, we'll get back to you. I don't.
Yes.
You know, anyway, it's a matter of what works and doesn't work. But that was a concern. I said, wow, you know, you took them offline. Anyway, those are my comments.
I appreciate that very much.
Just sharing what came to mind because of my background for those 10 years.
That's good. Thank you, Fred.
Right
Appreciate that.
So we are almost at the top of the hour. And so I think maybe we need to close this right now. I want to thank you. Rodney, for talking about your programs, and I loved hearing your process, the background. I loved hearing that, and knowing about your teams and all of that. So I really thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And you're going to send me the link and for the affiliate, and I will post it on my website where this will be. So, so I think I'm going to close the recording right now with a reminder. It's important to do what you love with passion, and we shall see you next week. So thanks again, Rodney, and I will just do the outro now, and once that's run.